I would like to ask you this. So who is actually supposed to pay this fee, the employer or the employee? Because I'm sure, a lot of people are confused about this question too.
So realistically, it's going to have to be the employer, because nobody's going to be paying $100,000 for the privilege of working for a job that maybe pays 150, maybe $200,000. So it's going to have to be the employer,
Mm.
and it's going to be, who pays the fee is also an interesting question, because it's allegedly supposed to be a border entry fee, which
Right.
when you're applying for admission to the U.S. at the border, the applicant is the individual, not the company. And so it's this really poorly thought out process that doesn't really fit in squarely with any of the known immigration laws and practices that the country's had thus far.
Right, right. Okay, so the employer is supposed to pay the fee. And okay, so let me quickly take Ricky's question. So Ricky has also posted about this fee. So Ricky says, hello, thanks for the session. Will 100K have to be paid for case of concurrent H-1B by a second employer after 21st September? What is considered as a new petition under this executive order?
So a new petition is just that. So it doesn't apply to extensions of status or change of employers. It's going to apply to is when you get a newly approved petition and then leave the country and try and re-enter. That's when you're going to have to pay the fee. So it looks like, from the flurry of policy corrections and policy interpretations that have come out, that you'll pay this once per 3-year visa.
Okay, okay. He's also saying, I'm in the US, plan to travel to my home country for stamping. Will those with approved H-1B have to pay 100K dollar after first time visa stamping in their home country upon entry into the US?
That's correct. That's the way that it's being interpreted, and that's how it looks on its face. Is that if it's a new H-1B visa where you're going for a stamp at the consulate, that newly stamped visa will be subject to the fee.
Right. And he also says, should existing H-1B workers consider moving to O-1? What is the way of self-petition O-1A if the employer isn't willing to file one? What will you need in such a case to help with the filing?
So, if you're talking about an O1, obviously that's not part of the proclamation. O1s, just by their very nature, are tough to get to. You have to meet a lot of criteria, and what specific criteria are applicable to you really depends on the specifics of your case. So I'd say if you want to talk about O1s, best to schedule an appointment with somebody that practices in immigration law, that knows O1s, and discuss with them, how you are best able to proceed forward. And if you're really competitive or eligible for the O1.
Okay. Ricky, I hope you have got your answer. Thank you so much for your question. If you have more follow-ups, please continue posting them in the comments. I heard interview of Commerce Secretary Lutnick, and he also says Lutnick in an interview says that new rules will come into force in February 2026. Is it true?
So there's going to be new H-1B rules. There's the new rules challenge or changing the way the lottery is done, as well as the Department of Labor is going to be issuing new rules as well on prevailing wage. Project Firewall is also something that's come out more from the Department of Labor side. It's workplace enforcement activity. So there is a stream of new processes and regulations that are coming out, all impacting the H-1B program.